マシンを選んでください。コースを選んでください。
difficulties, normal, hard, expert, and reverse, as fast as possible without abusing any retiring, like skipping a level or anything. So you actually have to play all the levels, and you watch all the trophy cutscenes, you finish. So I don't hit reset on the console to make it go faster or anything. It's just who's actually faster at the whole game. So when you're ready, I'm ready, and it starts when I hit the reset button. So start when I hit the reset button. 3, 2, 1, go.
Wave race!
あなたのマシンを選んでください。Welcome to Shibbypod.
Get ready for the first race! 3, 2, 1. Look, everybody is behind you.
Alright, so basically I'm trying to, on every course, just make it as perfect as possible, which comes with quite a bit of risk, because the risk of being ruined in this game is extremely better on the risk side of things. Small adjustments that I can make.
You're about 7 seconds ahead.
Slightly go close to these buoys is really dangerous, because something that can save me 10 of a second can also cost me 4 seconds or more if I...
Final lap, keep it up.
So 3 laps on everything.
You're about
The
12
championship
seconds
mode,
ahead.
you have to test with
You finished first and got to move on to the next.
Welcome to San
speaking a little bit.
Warm up your
Put it a little bit closer to me too.
3, 2, 1.
Alright, Sunset Bay. I'm also using like this camera angle that is not the default camera angle. It just helps me see the lines a little bit better. Alright, with it this close, it's good. But kind of touches my beard, so I'll try to... It's alright, I'll fix it. Yeah, there we go. And try really hard to get a 105, which is our like benchmark time. The benchmark times being like the top times to go for. So the guys on the couch are really knowledgeable about the game as well. So if you guys have anything to say about like each course as we go by, or like game mechanics in general, feel free. There's a 105. During a marathon is pretty legit.
You finished first and got to move on to the next.
Sunset Bay. We like to call the courses by their acronyms. So this is BL for Drake Lake.
3, 2, 1.
So the wave race community is it's been getting bigger over the last couple of years. And this year I'd say we have over 20 players who've submitted times already in 2018 to our leaderboard, which is speedrun.com/WR64. So of the 24 time trial records in the game, I currently have 20 of them.
not all. But of the 5 RTA or real-time attack categories, I have all 5.
About 11 seconds ahead.
So we're going for a really good time today. Instead of going for a marathon safe run, we're going to go for the world record.
Final lap. Keep it up.
So especially when we get a little bit later in the run, I might not have quite as much to say depending on how this run is going. If it goes really well, I might get a little bit quiet.
You're about 19 seconds ahead.
So hey, how's it going, everybody? I'm glad that the run's going so well, and it's okay. That wasn't that bad, actually.
Rip. It's about 2 seconds. Maybe
You
not even.
finished first and got move on to the next.
That's okay because there's actually a lot of time to save us.
Who's gonna win?
Horses.
3, 2, 1.
So the trick to getting max power at the beginning is a 1 frame input between the time that basically the lights have to be green on board, but the timer hasn't started yet. So there's only 1 frame where the timer is set at 0 and the 3, 2, 1 go lights are green. And so at the beginning of each course, just make sure that I can hear that because that's kind of tough. So this is the first dive. This is a really technical and specific trick. Got it. You're not supposed to get into the shortcut on normal, but using just manipulating Mariner, like in with the wave here, I can use it to do a dive and get under the door. And this is a timing setup so that the wave is in that place again, and I can do it again. All right, and then 119. It's acceptable.
You finished first and got move on to the next.
We'll have to check the mic after this, or maybe there's a setting on this end on the microphone. Yeah, somebody said it was.
3, 2, 1.
Or I wonder if the way that I have it angled, if it's like a cardio mic and I'm talking on the backside or something. I don't know.
You left everybody behind.
Cardio mic. Sure, that's what it's called. Alright, so Port Blue on normal, it's kind of deceptive because it looks really easy, but there's a lot of time to be saved if you can really tighten things down. I was just talking to Metalhead about this the other night and Bill about it, where if you play this level perfectly, it kind of just looks the same as not playing it perfectly, but your time will be like 3 seconds better, so you can just play everything really close to the breeze, get a really fast turn around the boat here. So the mechanics of the game too are pretty interesting. It's holding A as the throttle the whole time. You can also use the buttons have the same function on the controller. But it's the B button, instead of being like a brake, it's like a stabilizer, and it acts every time you tap it. So if you tap it, think of it like stomping your foot on the back of the jet ski to keep it in the water and keep it from popping up into the air. Nice dive at the end. Alright, and now we're on Southern Island. This is the last level of the first difficulty. And I know I said I was going really risky, but sorry, I'm not going to go for the dive on Southern Island, which would be kind of crazy. Everybody really loves the music in this game, but unfortunately we found out last year that playing with the music on in the game costs about 4 seconds per difficulty in lag. So unfortunately it's been pretty quiet in the wave race community ever since. You gotta save those frames. So we're gonna go under buoy once in a while. Usually if you can do it on this course, it's intentional. You pretty much know which buoys are gonna pop up and when. Alright. So the last lap, the water is the lowest of all 3 laps on this course. And the risk of touching the sand is really bad. The sand slows you down and it stops you from being able to turn both. But we did a pretty good job of avoiding most of it that time, but there's a little bit more up ahead. You guys see all the Fanta logos, by the way, in this game? 115 fourth, that's not too bad. Brought something. So, yeah, but we're going to start it right now. We're going to start the after party right now. So Fanta ads are in the Japanese versions of this game. And because of that, we drink a lot of Fanta. Fanta sponsors this game. Yeah. Yeah, take some Fanta. There is no Fanta back there. It's all up here. We have it up here. This is not a fantasy. Thanks, Joe. Good stuff. And make sure these guys are offering the Fanta too up here. The staff deserves the Fanta. All right, so we got one seagull on the screen. We're going to hard mode now. So that's kind of complicated, actually. I'm getting a call right now. Okay, that's a 1-800 number. I don't know. that would risk this max power. So in the cutscene there in the menu, I'm essentially choosing the 4th character over by going to the left, all the way to the left instead of to the right 3 times. And then I choose the character, choose custom settings and a custom color, and I hit A 3 times and go. So it's not that bad, but I recommend to anybody who runs this game to at least practice the menu to get it as fast as you can. There's so much time that you can lose or gain in the game. You don't want it to be like lost in the menu. So the hard difficulty, we add 1 course. Later on in this run, we add Twilight City for hard mode. And then on all of the other courses that we play, we also have some slight variations to like where the buoys are. Sometimes the colors of the buoys are swapped on certain buoys. Oh, I almost got a 103 there, which would have been insane. Good progress on Shibby's mic. Less cutting out. Good stuff. Same exact time as I got on normal? Yeah. Yeah. It's a fantasy. It's called Sunset Bay, but we all kind of think that it should be called Fanta Bay or something along those lines. So generally speaking, you don't want to touch the ramps because they're kind of slow. In some certain situations, you have to take a ramp, but yeah, you want to stay in the water. The water's your tamarack, or you're like, you need it. So I'm going to skip it this time because it's actually faster to go this way. But since I'm only allowed to miss the 4 buoys, unless if I miss 5, then I retire. I'm not allowed to retire in this run. So I can skip that buoy again on this run and still afford the loss because I use a trick at the end where I go out of bounds and I miss 2 buoys and I just go straight to the finish line instead of taking those buoys, which would cost like an extra almost 2 seconds. So that's this shortcut right here.
that's good.
You finished first and got to move on to the next.
Welcome to Milky.
Fantastic, yeah. The puns are great, man. So actually, I'm doing pretty well on the max powers right now. Which I was kind of worried about that, because it's like something I'm never going to get any better at than I already am. It's a very specific trick, and I just got to hope for the best. So on Drake Lake Hard, the slalom section that I just went through there is much tighter than it is on normal mode. And you have to take the turns a little bit more slowly, or it slows you down just going for those angles. Also, the path through those logs in the water, or those stumps in the water, is also different. Actually, a lot different on hard mode than it is on the other two difficulties. And considering that I'm allowed to miss up to that many buoys, I didn't mean to miss that one, but I'll go ahead and miss that one as well and take a safer ending. You'd be surprised, like, talking about what you're doing while you're doing it is a lot harder than just doing it. So on this difficulty on Marine Fortress, on lap 2 and 3, that little shortcut that I kind of convinced the game to let me take, it opens up automatically on laps 2 and 3, so I only need to get it on the first lap. So let's do that. The out of bounds thing helps me with the timing, gives me a little bit of a speed boost. Bam. Play it safe. Sometimes I can very easily go over that little break wall and save myself a couple of frames, but it's so much more consistent to just go around it that I always tell the guys, I'm like, you know what, just go around it. Don't worry about going over it unless you're 100% confident, which I'm not. Yeah, the last time I did an SRX run, I had the music. It's kind of a sad difference. The music in the game, which we have turned off for lag reduction now. Yeah, let's just listen to Drake Lake. Drake? Drake is the name of the announcer? Maybe. We've never thought of a name for him, but that might be a good name for him. Dwayne. Yeah. Alright, so Port Blue on hard mode, the shortcut's opened up. It's about 3 seconds faster to take this shortcut every lap than it would be to go on the outside every lap. And this is a tight little squeeze between that ramp and the boat. That's pretty hard to do, but if you line up the angle way ahead of time, you usually don't mess it up too bad. I kind of got really lucky there. I hit the wall, but I didn't fall down. Like, that was a really hard wall hit, too. I wonder if Todd Rogers is watching. We have a little fun, and we nickname playing without recording is always called the Todd Rogers. Yeah. And we have one guy who never records. All right. So 120 is very good. So now it's my favorite level, and I hope that I don't mess it up because it's a hard one. This is Twilight City, and I get to do a big dive on 3 laps, hopefully, but I don't have any big wave to help set that up. There's one. Saves about 1 second each time I do it, but it costs about 7 seconds if I mess it up because I crash into the wall and I have to go around the shortcut instead of going through it. An average crash off of the jet ski will only cost about 4 seconds, but 4 seconds lost in this category would be, I wouldn't be able to get the record anymore. There's 2. 4 seconds over a 51-minute long run would lose the whole thing. Yes. Thanks, you guys. It's definitely not quite over because the last turn is kind of tough too. The last turn is notorious in the group for being like one of the, it just steals your individual level runs. 25. That was good.
You finished first and got to move on to the next.
Welcome to Dublin.
Oh well. So there's a lot of waves on Southern Island hard mode, so I try to go to the outside right there to avoid them. So I have a couple of things to say about this run so far. I don't want to jinx anything, but this is definitely still record pace. It's one of those games where anything can happen very fast though, so I don't want to get ahead of myself. Alright, so we're about halfway.
You finished first and got 7 points.
Yeah, that was a good hard mode. Need to keep everything together for expert. Expert's probably the hardest, actually, and then reverse is quite a bit different, but also very difficult. There's kind of a lot of RNG on both.
You are the champion. Congratulations.
So it shows you the times that you got on each IL during that difficulty. And no records. So the primary way that the community plays this game is ILs. We play in time trial most of the time.
You get to move up. Way.
And the IL records can take, like the world records in time trials can take like between 20 and 100 hours apiece to accomplish. and that's after you've already acquired the skill to do it. So I kind of got a little trolled by Ace Stewart, the character there. So just tighter turns yet on Expert. They've thrown more obstacles at us, and the computer players are quite a bit better. Computer players are also referred to as NPCs. And actually, they are probably one of the worst factors of RNG in the run, because they can do quite a bit of damage. They can just be at the wrong place at the right time, and you swear sometimes that the game is doing that to you on purpose, like it just knows where you're going to be. And it can put them, like the other night, we were just playing, and I had a run where the computer player lined up perfectly in my path and then took up as much space as could possibly take up by moving their jet ski sideways and then crashing off of it to make sure that they wouldn't move out of the way. And I had to get clotheslined by the other player's jet ski. Yeah, and another time a character moved the buoy, pushed it like 4 feet to the side, and I just barely made it, and it would have retired me. And weird, that was during a race. That would have cost me a Speedruns Live race. So buoy misses don't cost any time on the clock, but they do slow you down, so you end up losing some time that way. But you're only allowed so many misses, so on this next lap, I'm going to do something that I used to tell myself I would never do, but since my friend Metalhead is here, I'm actually going to go on the ramp for him. And one time he got on this ramp, and the ramp itself took him out. He just crashed on top of the ramp, and we hadn't seen it much before that, so now getting taken out by something that you're supposed to be able to drive over is referred to as the Metalhead. Shout out, buddy. Supposed to be able to go over that just like that, but I couldn't believe it when I saw it. Goes up the ramp, and he's like barely hanging onto the jet ski after. Now we're on to Expert Drake Lake. Oh, get out of the way. Yeah, she's trying to get attention. Yeah. She does. She accelerates the fastest, yet she has the worst speed overall. And it's a really bad trade for her, because how often does it look like I need to accelerate? No, you need speed. You don't need acceleration. So it is really challenging going through that path consistently, especially when my mind has to also think about what it looks like on the other two difficulties that I just did. And it's different on each one. So a lot of times when I need to kind of play it safe, I just do this. I'm like, you know what? That part's really hard. Let's just not even worry about it. 113. Hey, that was better than my last practice runs earlier today. Me. Alright, so this is like the last marine fortress that I need to dive on. And probably the only bad thing that can happen is I can get hit by the computer players like right before I'm trying to dive. Oh, yes. A little bit of a mistake, but
I would rather do that than miss the dive, for sure. Yeah, at least I didn't get stuck on the crate. Shoutouts to another one of our players named Gilly Guide. We were doing, oh my gosh, so it got me twice, but what we were saying was that that crate can also just make you get stuck on it without crashing, and then you pretty much have to back up, which your jet ski can't do. So we had a player do that, get stuck and have to like turn around. Costed him like 8 seconds in a race. So another thing, that crate that I got hit by twice is not there on hard mode. So when do we actually race the waves? Asking for a friend. You guys like plant people in chat? What the heck? No, I'm all about the puns, so it's good. Yeah. This is the most, by far, the most serious meme game you will ever see. Didn't quite get what I was going for on that, but it's all right. So the difference on Expert Port Blue is that the easy long path that you saw me take on normal mode is closed completely, and the ramp extends all the way across at the end, so I can't like go in between the ramp and the boat. So I have to take the ramp here. It's still by far the shortest option. That was good. We don't need the last buoy. Wave to the camera. I'm busy. I'm playing a game. So the corner of the ramp, since I don't touch the ramp as much, it barely slows me down, and it's pretty safe to do that. Just have to have a good angle. That one made me pretty nervous. So, it says bonsai at the end, but only if you don't miss any buoys. Yep. Alright, this level is a run killer. It's the first time we get to see Glacier Coast. And hopefully the last. Not really. I have to play it one more time. insane. We're gonna get a 114? 114 pace first lap? Okay, never mind. I can't believe that she tried to troll me pretty bad, but I narrowly escaped. Yeah, definitely.
Hello, everyone. It is I, the Hype Man, from Bunta, sorry.
Bunta.
Donated $4.20. Who would have expected a 420? Good luck, buddy. Very good.
Thank you, Bunta. He's another Wave Race player as well. Pretty much a majority of the Wave Race players also stream. The platform most of us stream on is Twitch. My Twitch, I think, is linked down there, Shibbypod. But game streams under Snake Solid 86. Metalhead streams under Metal_Head 420. So I wonder if that's where the 420 came from. I don't know what else it could possibly mean. Alright, that's fine. A little bit of sand, but it wasn't bad. That was good. Okay, so we're still able to say this far into the run. We're still able to say this far into the run that it could happen. So yeah, this is also the first time that we get to see Mariner pick up the trophy. And we also get to see the butt patch. It's pre-colored. Yeah. Gotta make sure to get the camera guy into an angle where we can see the Fanta logo, please. There we go, thank you. Grape Fanta. I think we're Sunny Beach. I think it's Sunny Beach, actually. Yeah, the trophy cutscene takes place on Sunny Beach. Actually, all 4 character models are loaded, even though you only see 3 of them. And if you use a Game Shark or like an emulator to zoom way out, you can actually see the losing player off on the beach. Never knew that. Thanks YouTube for teaching me that, though. What was he gonna say? Last difficulty. This one's unique because you play on reverse. Well, it's called reverse, so obviously, but you play not mirror. It's actually you play backwards on the track. So it's actually true reverse. The only thing that would make it more reverse is if I had to back up through all the levels. Which as a kid, I was really confused, and I thought that that's what you were doing on reverse. But no, obviously it's forward. It's just going the other direction. This level has some dangerous parts also, and it's particularly hard if you get max power. So who knows, you could say that I purposely missed max power on this level because it helps me with the cycle and not crashing as easily. But then you could also just as easily say, isn't it best to just get max power and not screw up? And the answer would be yes. So, sorry I wasn't perfect. But we still got a 107. Here we go. Computer players can be extra trolly on this course, especially at the beginning. That's okay. That's fine. Compared to what usually happens, that's not that bad. So I kind of launch off of these waves. I go up one wave and down the other wave, down like the back side of the other wave. It's faster than slamming into the face of every wave, definitely. World record is 108 on that.
You finished first and got move on to the next.
108.3. Oh, we got more donations.
3, 2, 1. No problem. You left everybody behind.
Thanks for the hookup. Yeah, it's I, the hype man, once again. Oh boy, oh boy. I have a donation from AS Money. Oh boy, who donated $100.01.
Nice.
Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. And then we also have Metroid MST, who donated $2.34. I hear we're now getting chocolate chip and oatmeal cookies today. Ooh.
Nice.
I love oatmeal myself.
By the way, thank you, As Money. That's another personal friend of ours, Game and I. And a Wave Race player also. Good stuff. It's much appreciated. So we go all the way down to the final miss on this course. Kind of for safety, because I want to guarantee the 113 at least. Who? Shibby wife? Oh, hey, yeah. That's my wife. Thanks. I'm sorry I'm not wearing my wedding ring right now. I planned on playing pretty dirty. Actually, the reason I can't wear it when I play, it actually hinders my play a little bit, but I put it on when I'm done. Sorry about that. I'm gonna get in trouble, aren't I? Nah, my wife definitely is great. She helps support speedrunning in general. Like, I'll be streaming and she'll like make me eggs, and I don't even ask. She just brings them. She's great.
And she also has a pretty good 105 on Sunset Bay. So, or I mean, it's not a yeah, Sunny Beach. I always say that. Has a pretty good 105 on Sunny Beach. She's placed pretty well. Am I being burned right now? Gilly Guide, hello. Helps me moderate the. That's okay. At least she's watching, so I feel loved. So we get a 114 here. Yes. Not wearing mine either. That's okay. All right, we're on the last 4 courses of the game. This is probably the hardest course. That was good. I made myself practice that level quite a bit over the last couple of days. So, I mean, just so you know how far that came along, that was a 119 that time, but like I was averaging 122 about a week ago on that. That was risky. I accidentally hit the throttle too early. I almost did what you did yesterday in that race. Oh, man. Play a little safe on this because this is another course where you do take a bit of a risk by going down to 1 miss left. I'm not allowed to get all 5 misses. I can't do that. Sorry for being so quiet, but you know why. Alright, cross your fingers because RNG can be kind of bad up here with the NPCs. Alright, they're MIA, so we got away with one there. 36. Two courses left. This course can be very troll. Take some intentional misses on this course. We will probably get down to the final intentional miss before we retire again. This level can be such a crapshoot. But the worst part is over, so let's not screw up the end, I guess. Yes, 121. All right. So let's get ready on time. It's the very moment I crossed the finish line after lap 3 on this course. And I'll say it. Should go for the dive. Last lap, get ready on time. And time. All right.
7 seconds off.
Good run. 27.